Hey there, it's Lisa Leitner from adayinourshoes.com, and welcome to Don't IEP Alone, the only podcast, to my knowledge, that is dedicated to helping parents navigate the IEP process. Today, we are going to talk about the stress of IEP meetings, and I am going to share with you the secret to not stressing about your IEP meeting. I mean it, really. It's possible. It's possible that someday your IEP meeting will be nothing more than a blip on your calendar, okay? Because this is what I see right now. In my Facebook group, and you can look it up on Facebook, A Day in Our Shoes. I think it's IEP Assistance from A Day in Our Shoes. Parents come on and they go, oh my God, my IEP meeting's in 4 days, and I am so stressed, and so this, and so that, and what do I do? And then we see the meeting, the posts after, and oh my God, I'm going to drink a bottle of wine. Thank God it's over, blah, blah, blah. Because they're so relieved that their meeting is over. But remember back when, and go back and listen if you haven't listened yet. It's an earlier podcast about engaging in the entire process. Okay. The IEP is way more than a meeting. It is not just one meeting. It is not just one day a year or 1 week a year that you stress out over this 2 or 3 hour event and then go home and drink. You should be participating in the evaluations. You should be participating in the evaluation report and whether or not you agree or disagree with it and why, and requesting further evaluations if necessary. You should be submitting your parent concerns, and all of those concerns should be discussed at the meeting. And if they're not, you need to bring them up. If you suggested something or asked for something that the team considered at the IEP meeting, they are required to list all of that on a PWN, which I will go over in another podcast, but that's another area of the IEP process to participate in. But also in an earlier podcast, I talked about the paper trail and the data trail. And what matters is the data that you have. What matters is what your child's evaluations say. What matters is those therapy reports and what the therapists are reporting about your child. All of it. Standardized testing, grades, everything. The whole, the disciplinary record, if there is one. What matters about your child is what's on paper. It really doesn't matter at all what they say to you in a meeting. It doesn't. And there really shouldn't be any surprises at an IEP meeting. If you're participating in all parts of the process, from evaluations through the IEP, through the PWN, and all of it, no surprises. And that's why I'm never stressed out about an IEP meeting, because for me, it's just, we're really just kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And we may go over some things that, collectively as a team, we'll go over some ideas. You know, like my son's IEP meeting was just last month, and we had already collectively decided via email and his evaluations that we were going to do the SET process. That's an assistive technology thing. But we had decided that his AT that we were trying wasn't successful for him, and we were going to go through the SET process, blah, blah, blah. So once we got to the meeting, it really was just a matter of which devices and which communication alternatives we were going to try for him. It wasn't this big, like me surprising him at the meeting with, oh, I want him to have assistive technology, which, by the way, just seems to be an area that parents are afraid to ask for, and you shouldn't be. But anyway, yeah, so it was just, my meeting is just formalizing everything. It's just kind of working out the little details, but there are no surprises. And I would say the same to you as parents. If you have the data that shows that your child needs X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to get it in one meeting, but if you have the data to support something big like an assistive technology device, a one-on-one aid, an out-of-district placement, things like that, you don't spring it on them at the meeting. You bring it up in parent concerns. You ask for it to be an area of evaluation. And, keep in mind for these bigger ticket items, they really shouldn't just hand them out to everyone who asks for them, right? I mean, everyone who asks for a one-on-one aid shouldn't get one, because you're basically asking for a full-time staff member to be added to the payroll. And I get it. They can't just hand them out to everybody who asks. You may not get it in just one meeting. They may have some alternatives to a one-on-one aid that you haven't thought about that maybe are a good consideration for things. But again, no surprises at the IEP meeting. So have the data, ask for what you want ahead of time, list it as a parent concern, and treat it as a business meeting. This is your business meeting is to get your child's needs met. This is not the time to be sad about the goals they haven't achieved. Not goals, that's maybe not a good one, but they're the ways that they're not measuring up to their typical peers. This isn't the time to be sad about that. There's a different time and a place for working through those emotions. Don't work through your emotions about your child at the IEP meeting. Keep it all about business, no surprises, have your data. And again, should just be a formalization to that's not even a word. Formalizing the details of what your child needs. And honestly, myself and my clients, once you learn to look at the big picture, change your focus to it's a business meeting and I'm here to focus on facts, and participating in all aspects of the process. It's just not even a big deal to go to an IEP meeting anymore. We're just formalizing what we all already knew. All these things should for the most part, be taken care of ahead of time. Ideally, not all districts have the time and are not that well planned out to work out every IEP ahead of time. But, and keep in mind that what happens in the meeting is just not nearly as relevant as what happens on paper. So if people, how people treat you is a reflection of them, not you. If people are treating you poorly at a meeting, that's a reflection of them, not you. And you know what? You can either call them out on it or let it go, whichever one's your personality. But, I just, when you realize that they might be having a bad day or a bad week, one time I had the special ed director and she wasn't particularly kind, and things were going. She was fine at my meeting, but I had heard a lot of area chit chat about her, and a lot of people were unhappy with her. And I don't know. People complain to me just because I'm local and they know me, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I can't fix that. But sorry, taking another sip of tea. But anyway, we also then learned in that same time frame that the woman had had a double mastectomy. So, what are you going to say? I'm not going to excuse anyone for being nasty, but at the same time, obviously she had other things on her mind, and I'm sure she would have enjoyed taking more time off, but probably couldn't afford to. So she had to go to work during this very stressful time in her life. So again, it's a reflection of what people are going through, not necessarily a reflection of you. But to not stress at your IEP meeting, remember, what matters is what's on paper. Keep it on the facts. Keep it focused on your child and treat it like a business meeting. And good luck. For more information, you can always go to adayinourshoes.com.